Well, good morning, everybody. It's Naomi White. I'm Australian. I live in Brisbane in Queensland. It's Sunday morning, the 29th of March, 2020 in Australia, and it's Saturday afternoon in Palo Alto in California, where my friend Patty is, and also it's Saturday evening in Pescara in Italy, where my friend Patty M is. And I'm here, we're one down for our regular conversation. Raffaella in London is unwell. We're hoping it's not COVID-19, but in this crazy times, who can be sure? We wanted to focus this topic on freedoms and how our freedoms are being curtailed in this current situation. And I want to throw to Patty in Italy first, because Patty's been in home isolation now for coming up to about 20 days, I think. And the fact that she still looks as fabulous as she does is pretty incredible. But from what I can understand, Italy's doing it tough. And so perhaps if I can throw to you, Patty, and just ask you, how are you feeling today at day 20 or 21, whatever it is, in terms of this situation, and also what's going on in Italy, and how is your freedom being curtailed at this point in time?
Naomi, I must say that today I feel quite a bit frustrated because things are not getting better under that aspect of the personal freedom. It's very, very hard to be confined for 3 weeks in your house without the freedom to go out, not even for a walk. Only if you have a dog, you can walk the dog out. Otherwise, you have to be at home. But unfortunately, our government, the central government, has given a lot of power to the areas governments, and every governor is doing what they think is best. So some of them are doing things that are not really that are not good. Like, for instance, there's an area in Italy where they've started using drones to check people's movements, and I'm afraid that I felt so bad about that when I got to know. I saw a video actually of the drones flying, and I've also seen another video that was shot from a mobile where there was this man walking with the dog, and around him something like 20 officers asking him questions. It was like a small troop all around one man with a dog.
Clearly, I don't have enough to do.
And they're also putting people in danger and endangering, because he was just walking by himself with the dog and with all these people around asking him questions. Imagine how this man is feeling, could have felt. I think it's not good at all. Besides, being always at home with other people can be very, very triggering. And you're living with your families, so you know better than me maybe how it is to live together with other people. And maybe we're lucky because we have enough space, but there's a lot of people that are living in small apartments, and maybe there are 3 or 4 or 5 people in small apartments, and they're not used to be 24 hours a day for 21 days together, and they're starting to freak out, literally freak out.
What are you seeing when you say they freak out? What are you seeing?
Oh, I mean that, well, the other night I was talking to this old friend of mine who's a police officer, and he told me that they don't have any more calls for thefts, robberies, nothing like that. The crime rate has gone completely to zero, but they keep on being called for domestic fights. So that's the only reason why they're called now, domestic fights, domestic violence. Because of course, after 3 weeks, people start being whether very aggressive to each other or apathic. Okay, they just feel so depressed without any certainty of what's going to happen in the future. Is it going to end in a week, or is it going to go like this for another month? No certainties at all. And besides, they're operating a kind of censorship on internet. They are canceling some videos that they think are not good information. That's what they say. This is not good information. This is fake. This is fake news, but it's not fake news. It's just the opinion of other people. So they're starting to do some kind of censorship on the main on the television. They're keeping on sending this spot where they say, listen only to the mainstream news, because only the professional can tell you the truth. All the rest is fake. And this is really frustrating.
Could you ever have perceived that it would ever have happened in Italy before?
Never before. And so when you feel that your freedom is endangered somehow, because this is what's happening, our freedom is being endangered, and it goes worse every day.
Oh my God.
That's why I'm feeling so frustrated, because of all these little things. And there's a very famous constitutionalist that is well known here in Italy. He also teaches at Columbia University. He's been interviewed in a free television that's on internet, and he explained to people that we are inside. Let's say in prison, with I don't even call it a law, it's a decree from the prime minister that's not legal. Okay, because the only way is not constitutional. Sorry, it's not constitutional, because our constitution say that the prime minister can decide something that is coercive or mandatory for people only in a state of war, only if the parliament declares a state of war. This is the only case where the prime minister can decide. But he did and he's still keeping us at home with his own decree, which is not constitutional.
With no insight, by the sounds of it, it sounds like you're not anywhere near being able to release out of your home, be released out of your homes, because I saw yesterday that you had something like 900 deaths in Italy. So with that, I would imagine you still have some weeks to go confined to your home.
Fortunately, I think so. I don't know what they think of doing. They've prepared some psychological number that people can call. So there are a lot of psychologists that have been called to help people on the phone or on internet. But I'm not sure this is going to help, because people need to feel that someone is close to them, also physically, especially people who are not in a psychological well-being condition. And there's a lot of people that's not psychologically in well-being. There's a lot of depressed people, actually, all around the world. Imagine what it means for a person that already has this kind of psychological disorder to be forced like that. Patty,
and
Patty,
sorry, I was just going to hop in here, because I have to say, one of the things that has kept me sane throughout, and we have a shelter at home mandate, it's not as strict, is we are allowed to go out with our family and walk or take a jog and exercise. In fact, we're encouraged to. And I would have to say, without the ability to do that, it you would really start to lose it.
Mad.
So,
I agree.
not, to have the Italian government sort of, kind of not balance certainly the need for the social distancing with the psychological and the physical needs of the people at home it's just not fair. It's not smart,
at all. And as a matter of fact, one of the videos that they are pursuing now, that they want to cancel now, is an interview made to a virologist, a doctor, a medical doctor who said that the damage of isolation is going to be much worse than the virus itself, because you're forcing people that long inside without having the chance to walk or to breathe in open air. That's going to be very, very bad. And now they're against this doctor. They're legally pursuing some kind of lobby is pursuing him.
Wow, that's really worrying. And I think that's really, we talked about the economic impacts of this decision to confine people to their home. Now we're talking about the longer term psychological impacts. Patty Leegh, before we end this particular recording, is there anything you want to add from the American perspective?
It's certainly the cases are on the rise. New York is really, in bad shape. They probably have a few more weeks of seeing increases, dramatic increases in cases and deaths, even though, I think they're, particularly in Manhattan, much stricter about the stay-at-home mandate there. Schools in California, in my area, are closed until May. So we have a long way to go. That's another, month, a little bit over a month to go of probably the shelter at home mandate. So allowing us to have the, freedom to exercise and the freedom to be outside, even if it's just with your family, is going to become more and more important. Absolutely.
Well, I think
also for our immune system. Sorry,
Patty, you go.
No, sorry, I just said not only for our psychological well-being, but also for our immune system. We need to stop considering our mind separated from the body. We are a unity, and the mind is definitely conditioning our well-being, our health.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's a great point to end on. Well, we'll end it there. Thanks so much for your time this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.